Ticketmaster has delisted Ontario resale tickets after new law caps prices. So I'm just reading from the CBC article. Basically, what's happened here is there's a price cap, and the resale of this means that you can't sell a ticket in Ontario above its face value.
And this goes for all tickets.
All tickets to everything.
Because people are like, this is absurd, whether it's concerts or sports, any sort of entertainment, you are getting gouged with resale prices.
Yes. So there was a 2017 Ticket Sales Act, and there were changes to it made last month because the premier, Doug Ford, saw how much tickets cost to both the Taylor Swift tour, like resale tickets, but also the World Series here in Toronto. And because it got crazy, and he said, okay, we're gonna end this. And there was a anti-scalping thing that they had put in 2019 that would have stopped it from going 50% above the actual price. But now things like, we got the World Cup coming this summer, right? And the tickets were insane for it. Now, if you bought all those tickets, you're trying to resell them, you're selling them at face value. Or you're going.
So tickets sold beforehand though, like if you were gouging or if people
if you were gouged before you were gouged.
Okay,
before.
there's no
coming
go
back.
backsies.
No,
okay.
no, there's no go backsies.
This is good, and I am usually very cautious of anything that Doug Ford does because it usually isn't in the public's best interest, but especially for concerts and accessibility for like young fans to go to anything musical in the city when it's a larger stadium tour or like arena tour, they can't. So this is great. Stephanie, how does this affect your love for Taylor Swift?
I wish this happened back in 2024 when her concert was around. But hopefully if she comes again, more people can actually go.
Yeah, I can't wait. Another tour.
Well,
no,
I guess the thinking is that it's going to discourage scalpers because that's kind of how it works, right? They buy all the tickets, they have all the ins. This is what they do. I know that there's a guy who's a Toronto Maple Leafs season ticket holder, and he hates the Leafs, but he has like 25 pairs of season tickets. Like this guy's very wealthy. And he goes to every game, but he dresses in whatever jersey the opposing fans are wearing. And they always catch him on camera.
He's just a rich troll?
Yeah, he's from Montreal. And he and his daughter go and they think it's hilarious.
Can you imagine having that much money?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and what's amazing to me is that the Leafs kept selling him these season tickets. Like if I was the owner, I'd be like, you can have one set of seats. You're not going to have like 20 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Toronto started an article on this guy. And anyway, like some people think he should be banned and that it's stupid. Other people think, well, I don't know, it's just fun for him and his daughter. But I think the thing that people really disliked about him was that he's essentially, that's his business.
That's
like
a professional scalper,
right? Professional. And so not only is he's like ripping off Leaf fans, right? With, the above face value tickets that he's selling, but now, you could still maintain your seats, right? You could sell them for what they're worth. So you'll get your money back. But I know for people that have Raptors tickets and Leafs tickets, and this is the drawback, right? If you got expensive season tickets, a lot of people you get 41 games in a season as a part of your package.
Yeah.
If you sell the top 10 games, the biggest matchups, that pays for the other 30 games. And so now people are going, oh, well, I will have to give my season tickets back because I can't afford it the same way that I used to be able to. And that means that more corporations then swoop in and buy the packages rather than the average person, because the average person could justify it reselling.
And for example, we both got Tempo tickets, season tickets for the W.
Well, like mine's through SDPN.
Yeah, but the prices were accessible for season tickets.
Yes, they were.
They were accessible. Like, we signed up early enough. I want to be able to support, like women's sports in Canada in general, but they were accessible. And the thing is I think probably a lot of people maybe bought in thinking they would resell. Hopefully they didn't, but I hope that people aren't going to have to return their season tickets now and then corporations come in.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Well, but I mean, the Raptors probably not, but Raptors tickets are not nearly as accessible when it comes to season tickets. So maybe the WNBA keeping the tickets accessible, like in the beginning, did bring like a lot of fans like me who aren't rich, aren't corporations, aren't the people who are like, I'm going to resell these in late August for 4 times as much. So hopefully that'll happen. I have really big hopes for the Tempo tickets and the Tempo season. I have really big hopes.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. This is huge.
I'm very excited. Yeah,
I know that you don't support women's nails, but do you support women's basketball?
I do. Yeah. I'm very much excited to go. I'm going to take my daughter. I'm very excited this summer. I think it's going to be good. But I look at the way that this is all going to play out. And I kind of think like, if this works, there's going to be a lot of other jurisdictions around the world that adopt this.
So,
we are one of the first
yes.
to come out and say, you can't do this anymore.
Some places have this though already.
They do?
Yeah.
Which like, so, but not en masse. Like I wouldn't think you would find this in the States or anything.
I don't think North America wise. I think that there are places definitely in Europe that are more progressive because Ticketmaster is a monster.
Like, yeah, it's a big monster.
And somebody has
being sued right now by like 39 states.
Yes, and like has continued to hurt like both artists and fans.
Yeah.
So it's like at some point this has to stop. And I think that usually European countries are more progressive in that regard.
So I was looking into that lawsuit brought by the states. So if you're unaware, in the United States, the federal government and the states were suing Ticketmaster for operating an illegal monopoly. The Trump admin got in and were like, nah, let's just settle this, as you would expect. And they had a ton of, but the states were like, no. We're continuing on because this is an issue that if you're left leaning or right leaning or wherever or center or wherever, everybody agrees that this is outrageous.
It's crazy.
Right? But here's the thing that I think is going to disappoint a lot of people. The states won. They won. But they won on the fact on the technicality is that they've now proven in court that, or at least the judge ruled in their favor, that Ticketmaster was overselling the tickets by like $1.72 per ticket. So it's not like a lot of these are really going to come down.
Yeah.
Like if you think it's going to be a 30 or 40% come down, it's not. And, you know, the other thing that this exposes, and I think this is really interesting, if everybody in North America moved to this model and Ticketmaster loses this thing and whatever, now it's on the artists. Now we're looking at the artists and going, okay, guys, like they've, you complain about Ticketmaster, they've been dealt with.
Yeah.
Only $1.72 has been overcharged here.
Yeah.
We gotta, now that's an average. That doesn't mean that it's like Taylor Swift is going to be at the high end of that and there's going to be a ton of artists at the low end of that, right? But the artists are driving, and this is what the article said, the artists are driving a lot of the rises.
And the majority of their income comes from
because they don't make anything off albums.
No, they don't make anything off streams. It's primarily through touring.
Yes.
So and just to go back, because I was unsure about it. Yeah, there's been a large coalition for years, especially like Europe-based, called FEAT. That has been like make tickets fair. Like this is crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
European Music Managers Alliance, European Arenas Association, Fanfares Alliance of Europe. Like this has been because they're getting gouged, especially in cities like London and Paris, where like a lot of these folks do 4 or 5 stops and nobody can go see them because the tickets are so outrageous. But that's the thing is you want your artists to be able to make money, but you also want to be able to see your favorite artist. So where does...
Well, if you want to bring the ticket prices down, in my mind, you got to get companies like Spotify to start coughing up.
Yeah.
Like Apple Music pays a lot more to the artist than Spotify does. And I don't think Apple Music does enough, but I think it's a lot better. And, what's interesting about Spotify is that it's partially owned and founded by multiple record labels. That's how they have access to all the music. And so the labels are doing just fine. Yeah. It's the artists.
Labels. I was watching, weirdly enough, Lainey Wilson's documentary. There's a new one on Netflix. And she was just saying like, I can't quote the exact price, but they were just looking at the stream income that they're making. And she was like, it's hard because they have to kind of pick pennies from everywhere in order to make a whole sum. But she was like, in order to be able to pick pennies from somewhere, you have to have money to pay people to collect this revenue. And she's like, so artists that don't have enough revenue to hire people to collect the revenue, like they're screwed because you're making pennies in different places
everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy and
extremely inefficient.
It's unfortunate and it leaves artists and fan relationships in a really hard spot sometimes.
Yeah.
So Spotify, we love that you have our podcast on your platform, but you should pay the artist.
Yes, you should.
You heard it here first. That's a threat. It's mild threats. Sorry, Spotify.
You'll be surprised to know that StubHub and SeatGeek are opposing the change to the Ontario ticket laws. Are you shocked by this? Are we surprised?
You know what I need Ticketmaster to do? Make me remember my password easier. That's what.
Where's the prompt? Ask me a question.
Can I just can you send me a code on my phone that I can get in?
Yeah.
Because I'm always resetting my password and then I'm on the Gmail, and it's back and forth.
They also don't have two-factor authentication
Yeah.
on Ticketmaster, which is like sketchy.
It's sketchy. They have the key thing, whatever, but they don't have two-factor.
Do they make you pick out the spotlight from the 8 squares or whatever? I hate when people do that.
I had to figure out what pictures like were a bridge today, and they were all from so far away. I thought an overpass was a bridge, and it wouldn't let me in.
An overpass isn't a bridge?
I was trying to get into Equifax. I was trying to get into Equifax.
I just want to know my credit score, man.
I was like, I had to like check some credit stuff, and the bridge, and they said like you're cut off, too many attempts, and I was like, it's a bridge. Is an overpass not a bridge?
Also, I'm paying for this.
Yeah. And
what do you mean I'm cut off?
Yeah. They were like, yeah, too many attempts, error, login error. Just because, and I was like, it's so early. Also, the picture is so
blurry.
It's so pixelated. How are you going to, I was going to call the helpline.
Name something that's got a road in it. I'm like, does the curb count as a road? I just don't know.
Which one's a motorcycle? And I'm like, I don't know. This is a parkade. Like I can't, there's a lot of vehicles in here. And I get those puzzles, they're
too much.
I've had enough of the puzzles.
I've had enough of them too.
I've had enough of ticket prices. I've had enough of puzzles. No more games.
Amen.
I'm too old. I'm 37. I don't want to do puzzles.
No, give me a different two.
Yeah,
factor.
I'm a grown up puzzles.
Absolutely. Give me grown up puzzles.
Yeah.
Give me a Sudoku or I'm out.
Yeah.
All
Bye.
Right? So